Today I'm talking about anxiety, but a particular kind of anxiety. I'm talking about hypochondria, otherwise known as health anxiety. For those who stumbled upon this video, you probably were looking into it because you have it or you know somebody who has it. But for those who don't know, who just stumbled upon this video randomly, hypochondria is a debilitating, more often than not, debilitating, anxious preoccupation with one's health. Most people who have this problem of hypochondria, health anxiety, think consistently that either they're coming down with some sort of horrible illness or some terminal illness, and they think perhaps they need to go to the ER, something's wrong with them, they're about to die, right? For someone, and I experienced anxiety in my life, bad anxiety. I actually did experience hypochondria. And a few people kind of go through phases of it a little bit. But I had it for a good, almost a year, I had it. And I also had sleep anxiety and other forms of anxiety, but there was one thing that really got me out of it. One thing. And that is the relinquishment of control. If you notice, most people who have anxiety issues, oh no, where's this? Oh my God, I don't know where that, and they freak out about things. Some people have it mild to severe. But more often than not, it's severe paranoia, worry. Where is this? What's wrong with me? What's going on with my life? Right? Always, you'll notice that people who have anxiety are control freaks. Either with themselves or their environment or other people, but regardless, in a way, they want control. Control of what's going on, and in this case, hypochondria, what's going on inside their own body. They feel they really have an edge. They have some sort of way that they can know exactly what's going on with them and how they can control what is about to happen to them. And that brings me to Alan Watts. And anybody who knows that when I give advice, especially about anxiety or depression, in this case anxiety, panic, I always mention Alan Watts because I am a huge fan. Always have been. He's a good pointer. He's pointed to these ideas for me. And one of the things that he said in regards to people who have anxiety, and if you're experiencing anxiety now in your life, especially hypochondria, he said this: anxiety is the trembling between two alternatives. Anxiety is the trembling between two alternatives. This may happen or this may happen. I may live, but I might die. Oh God, right? And when someone has those two alternatives, they know that one of those alternatives might be death, illness. Oh God, no, right? It's worrying to know that that is a possibility. But he went on to say that if you had thought to yourself as you experience, like if you were to think that maybe I feel a lump, it must be cancer. I have a headache, I'm having an aneurysm. Could just be a headache, could just be a lymph node, a swollen lymph node. Well, it could be anything, benign. But no, it might be cancer, an aneurysm, something horrible. I'm having a heart attack. My arm, it went numb for a second, right? In those moments, what you have to do, and this is what he pointed to, is to think that whatever happens, I have no control, and it is okay. I have no control. No matter how I feel, if I remain anxious, will it change what's about to happen? No matter how worried you are, it will not change what is about to happen. And then that trembling between the two alternatives begins to fade. Because now you go, okay, these two alternatives are as they should be. And either one could happen and they are out of my control. I must let go. Instead of trying to get a grip on it, I need to get a grip on this anxiety, let go. Why are you trying to get a grip on something like that? This is from Elliot Hulse. He spoke about this. So you're trying to get a grip on something that needs to be let go. I don't know who pointed him to it, but he pointed that to me, as did Alan Watts. When you give up that trembling and say, it's causing you to not be able to sleep at night, when you're laying down in bed, say, whatever happens, I have no control. No matter how much I worry, it will not change what's about to happen. And this might be helpful for some. Excuse me. But what really drives the point home for people who are experiencing anxiety like I have, and if you think that I'm speaking in a way as if I don't know what it's like, trust me, years and years I've dealt with anxiety, panic, real panic. And I know what it's like, and this is how I got through it. With what I said and driving the point home is to understand that if you are afraid of death, that if you're afraid of illness or you're anxious about something could happen to you, something awful might happen to me, understand that the world and the universe is dissipative, and it's bringing in and creating things and destroying them, and then creating things with what was destroyed and repeating the process. Now you can worry all day, oh no, I'm gonna die, something's wrong with inside my body, I don't know what's going on. You as a human, because of your ego, are over worrying about yourself. Do the blood cells in your blood that get recycled, mass amounts of blood cells you shit out mass amounts of recycled blood cells every single day. Do any individual blood cell have a choice whether it's going to die or leave your body and be flushed down the toilet? No, it has no choice, because that is what the system does. That's a part of the system. You are generating blood cells with what you eat, what you're consuming, what your breath. You're creating red blood cells, and guess what? They live, they do their job, and then they go. They live, they do their job, and they go. They live and go. They live and go. And you are a part of a much bigger system. While you have that going on inside you, you are like the red blood cells. You are like the cells in your body being recycled, right? You have no choice. You were brought up, you were generated. You had no choice to be born from your mother. No choice. And now you live, you do your job as a living being, and then you go. You go. Once you realize that the universe is creating and destroying, constantly and in large quantities, massive, epic discharges and charges of generation and degeneration. Creation and destruction, and it's happening constantly, and you are, no matter how much you don't like it, you are a part of that. If in this destruction you are going to be riddled with cancer, you're going to have a heart attack and then die, then that is just the way that you were created. Maybe it's genetic. Maybe it's your fault. Then you can't really blame the universe then, can you? But besides that, eating too many, fast food and shit, right? It's creating and destroying, and there's nothing you can do about that. Now, if you can give up that control and say, universe, the world, I have come into existence by your hand, by the will of nature, I was sprung and I have become a biological offspring, and I have no choice to when I come into this reality and when I leave it. I have no control of that. And if you can look into the world and accept that, I guarantee, if you really have an epiphany, if you really understand that, you'll be okay. Your anxiety will start to wither away. It's true. Your hypochondria, your worrying about your own health, will begin to dwindle. That's really all I have to say, guys. If you need help at any point, you know anybody else who's going through this, remind them of this, point this to them. Be the pointer for them. Catch you later.